Come here, Stanley. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, gotta go. Come here, cat, cat. Kitty, kitty, tat, tat. Come here, boy. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. You're halfway there, homie. You like stickers? How about a cat? Cat, do you like stickers? You are such a good kitty, gotta go. He said, I gotta go. You big boy. You're a big boy. Said, I'm not in the mood. Let me release me. You cannot hold them against their will. I remember when Mom told me that, taught me that. Actually, I learned that from watching my brother get yelled at from holding the cat against the will. Hold it. No, you're gonna stay there. I'm gonna impose my will upon you. You can't do that to living things. Every living critter has its own autonomy on planet Earth. And you're trying to fuck with that now? Season 249 of the USA, the season finale, it ain't going in favor of the colonials, the controllers. It ain't going in their favor. They just had a big meeting. Yes, it's just all a pony show. That's all the military is. I wish people could see things how I see it. It's just Washington D.C. is the people in Congress are no different than Hollywood actors that get paid to make people believe that a story that they see on a screen, just like the news, they make people believe in storylines. And then they create the storyline so you will believe in their efforts. And that's what the government is failing to do. It can't hold up the facade anymore. It's a lie. We're getting karma for people actually dying in places that we killed them. We went over there. Like, in America, you can't go into somebody's house and shit on their floor. You can't go in somebody's house and determine that they're a bad guy unless the judge says that they are. And then you can get a warrant, and then you can, because the legal system is just as corrupt as the people that make that system up too. But we can go into other countries and kill as many people as we want. Everybody's all upset about Gaza and shit like that. And I'm just like, wait a minute. There were too many present moments that the public passed up. Like, you didn't fucking care about Iraq. You're all gung-ho, yay, America. But it's a lie. We had no business being there. And then we stayed there. And then Afghanistan for 20-something, like, just so we could pay ourselves to be there. America pays themselves to be the asshole, essentially. And it's always been this way, and it's never not. And if you stand up against it, you're the crazy one. But see, the thing is, I'm not the crazy one, because I've been the one that has done all the things that society said that I needed to do to be a part of it. And then I was a part of it, and then I saw what a fucking lie it is. And no, I don't want to do their butt stuff. No, I don't want to peg people. No, I don't want to do their crazy, stupid, freaky sex stuff. So if you don't do that, you ain't gonna prosper. You ain't gonna advance. You ain't gonna be the highest ranks in Hollywood, in religion, in DC, because it's all the fucking same. So I'm talking universal income for everybody. You're born in America. I don't care who you are. I don't care if I like you. Doesn't matter how I feel about you. I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care your ethnicity. Every person born in America, $2,000, boom, boom, every month from the time of birth. That'll set you up. Your parents suck. If they're great, it don't matter because you got enough money to take care of yourself. Everybody needs the same advantages as the stupid fucking dumbass cousins that get $200,000 a year to fucking ruin our lives year in and year out. And they think that they're helping and they think that they're doing the work, and they're not. They're just a bunch of stupid cousins that got the good job. I'm in the land of the stupidest cousins of all. I'm in the last place state. The land of the only reason why you got a job is because your auntie or your uncle got you the job. That's where I live. Where people go out and shoot people just because they get annoyed with them. Because everybody's on drugs and they're all drunk and they don't value life. They don't have regard for life. They don't exercise. They don't eat right. They care more about, ooh, balloons. Hot air balloons and red and green chilies. Yeah. See, I don't really recognize borders anymore. It's just jurisdiction. It's just, were you a kid and didn't you ever play capture the flag? Like everything you learn that you need to know about people and on Earth is like you learn by the time you're 7 years old. And if you ever played capture the flag, like you learn all about psychology from just how to play capture the flag. And then you have these little kid mentalities that grow up and they look like men, but they still have the mentality of a child. And they give them labels like generals. Dude, they say 800 generals. I don't think there's 800. Dude, a lot of those pictures look like AI to me too. They're, as far as I'm concerned, they're just paid actors. Only those generals, how would America feel? Look at what 100% retirement pay for military personnel is, but single moms aren't worth $2,000 a month. Like single dads that are trying to feed their kids because they lost the person. Like, because people like, the story goes like, you get married and have kids, like it's a planned thing. But anything outside of that, you're fucking on your own if you ain't a part of the plot. And I wasn't a part of the plot, but see, my dad's side, he was a part of the plot. I'm the plot breaker. See, I'm the scapegoat. Right, but I'm not in Africa, I'm in America. And America's starting to look like a third world country because we fucking bomb places that we had no business. Did you see that explosion in New York City today? The whole side of a fucking 20-story building blew off. Because people paid themselves to take care of infrastructure and they sat on their asses and just paid themselves and went to this football game and that baseball game and on that vacation. And people, like, I worked in Corp USA, I worked in hospitals, like their doctors, like, you didn't have access to them, you couldn't get appointments with them, it's because they were never there. Because they're so important that they couldn't be bothered to do the job that they got paid to do. They just had to go out and show the world how important they are for doing a job sometimes. So all these fake-ass people in America are being figured out for being fake-ass fuckers. I hate fake. I can't stand fake people. I don't, like, how am I not supposed to laugh in your face and take you seriously when you pay tens and thousands of dollars to pay a surgeon to make your face look like everybody else's face that he's done surgery on? Like, he just puts the same face on all these different people. But, you know, I mean, I grew up, my mom worked so hard to try and give me a normal childhood in extreme situations. Because my dad's side was connected, was so connected, they could do whatever they want. So people tell me about laws and rules and regulations, and I'm like, those don't fucking mean anything. Although the rules and regulation laws, they're contingent on who's in charge and how they feel. If they want to go with them or against them. And the United States military has been going against them for as long as it's existed. Like, I mean, I remember in history that you had to get approval from Congress to start a war and bomb anybody, but as soon as 9/11 happened, I was at Offutt Air Force Base. We immediately started deploying equipment to fucking bomb people. We didn't have no evidence. We just, oh, no, we did it to ourselves. So we could start that 20-year engagement so our military members could pay themselves tax-free hazardous pay. It's a money-making business. Has nothing to do with fucking freedom or democracy, but people still like going to their stupid parades and have so much pride. It's pride. Pride just gives people permission to think whatever they believe in is better than everything else, and it removes culpability. Pride does. It removes accountability. Pride makes all this shit that people do okay because they did one thing good at one time. It's fucking weird to me. So the truth always comes out, and since America is based on a lie, we're seeing the de-evolution. Ever since I was a little kid, I always imagined, like, what would the world be? What would America be if the colonists didn't wipe out my ancestors? It's so weird because, like, my dad's side is Freemason and my mom's side is the Native, and they've been toying with me my whole life, and they fucking hate women and they hate Natives and they just hate. And I get around their hate, and then I'm like, ooh, they feel icky. I hate how I feel around them, because I'm one of them. And I feel people's feelings. I feel people's past. I feel people's futures. I'm one of them psychic intuitives, and I got 8 years of shit that's actually happened that's come true. Yeah, I interpret data, a lot of data, and that's how I see how things are going to go down. But hey, people always have free will. They haven't used it up until this point to be generous, but everybody gets a chance to ride, because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and America's only going to look more and more like a third world country. It's kind of cool to see, because out of desperation comes grace, and through grace you see community coming together. People actually giving a shit about, because they haven't up until this point. It's been a very every man for himself. But that was by design. That's what they did this. We practiced this back. The military practiced, like, all the COVID shit. I tried to let people know, but what do I know? I was only in the midst of all of it while people were getting caught up in the bullshit. Yeah, I know. If there was no food and they still, but I'm not in Africa and I don't know what it's like in Africa. I watch people, like, there's this raising this what's her name? Raising Aquarius Rising. She's out of Africa. She's a white lady. She talks with Jesse Zaboter. Like, she ain't suffering. She ain't suffering, but ever since I was a little kid, Ethiopia, I'd see these little big old potbellies, but we didn't have no food. Like, my whole life, America is all about pay us to say we care, to take care of people over there, but I always live right fucking here, and Mom didn't have enough food to take care of us. Like, dudes fucking like, she had to do all the ugly shit that men had to offer just to take care of us, because she didn't have enough money, and money's fucking fake. And then I see how there's plenty for everybody, and, like, I remember when I was little, like, we'd have to go to, the car would break down, and for a brake job, we would be at the auto shop for like 3 or 4 fucking hours. It's a 20-minute job, but they would take advantage of her. Because because that's what people do when they know about things. They take advantage of people who don't. That's why I spent my whole life learning every fucking thing I could, so I could point out that people are taking advantage of people. $500 astrology readings? That has nothing to do with chop wood, carry water. So if you got it, see, I think everybody should have of an earth skill, and then have a fucking skill that you can, if you want to get paid, that doesn't like produce any fruit, But I've been a support staff my whole life. I was a busser. I was an age mechanic in the military. I was always just like the worker bee, the little bitch. Well, I watched people that had titles get credit for fucking work that I did. And that shit's stupid. So I left 3D Earth, and I see the people. Hi, Luna. I still see people that like they want the benefits of 5D Earth, but they still want to do their stupid holidays and shit. And you can't have both. Like, people have to make decisions. Like, you can't be an egomaniacal freaking capitalistic asshole and then talk about, you're for the collective, and then charge $300 to $500 for readings. That's just dumb. Like, the gig is up. It's been up. But more and more people they call it the waking up. People are, the Great Awakening. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if they hit the snooze. Because I see a lot of people snoozing. Because people care about that 3D shit. They love going to those football games. I went to the football games in high school and then fucking left it there. And then people go on and have kids, and then the kids grow up and play football, and so everybody's stuck in this football loop. And it's like, ain't no football player, ain't nobody on any sports team in my whole entire life came in and said, you know what? I see that your mom is struggling. Let me help with that. But all of these LLCs exist. All of these freaking non-profits exist that get all these money, and they write a grant, and then they get 100 grants for tens and all this. Just give everybody $2,000. That's it. Just give everybody $2,000. And you don't want it if you're too proud, like you don't need money assist. That's fine. You can waiver that. Give it to somebody else. That's as easy as that. I mean, $582 billion budget, the military. It's a stage. That's how much it pays the actors, the central cast members, to get America to believe that it's a free country. That's how I look at it when I see, that's not a military budget. That's a propaganda budget. And people can't believe it because you're like I was in the military. I was a mechanic. I was surrounded by fucking dudes that would go home every day and they would tell their wives and kids, oh God, I worked so hard today. Oh my God. Life in the military is so tough. And they project this facade. But I worked with them, and I was there, and I was working on the flight line, and I would come in, and they would literally be sitting in a fucking chair with their legs kicked up. And I'd leave, and I'd come back 45 minutes later, and they'd be in the same position. And I always spoke the truth, and I'd say things like, I hope you don't go home and tell your family how hard you work. Because that will make you a liar on top of being lazy. And they fucking hated me. Because I worked so hard, I make lazy people look bad. I've done it my whole entire life. People don't want to work. I don't want to work. I just see that you have to work in order to, like, have running water. Like, pipes have to function. Things get clogged. Electricity, if you like electricity, wires fall. Someone's going to have to pick them up. I was almost going to be a lineman. They almost called me to be a lineman, a pole climber. I like girls that dance on poles. I didn't want to be a pole climber. So, thank goodness, because had I ended up a pole climber and then been in Iraq when we bombed them, because pole climbers, that's what the military does. Military decides the beachfront property. Military decides the property in which it wants, and then it plans how we're going to take it. And we'll start by making movies in the 70s and 80s and TV shows that portray people with brown skin as bad, as threats. That's how it starts. And then it's all planting seeds. Just make it, don't give people resources to be creative in their own lives and their own community, because then they'll build something beautiful. And they get more excitement from bombing people. Dudes get their rocks off, dude. Like they get all amorous. Like it turns them on. Violence turns people. If violence turns you on, that's an imbalance. That means your brain is broke. That means you got a fucking problem. Like if you need to be aroused as a human being by watching violence on TV, you're probably more demon and less human. You just don't want people to know it, so you hide it. You can't hide what you are. I'm a very passionate person. People misconstrue that as aggression because I get so frustrated because I can't understand why are there homeless people on the street. These lines are like, because they're selfish assholes, and there's enough for everybody, but they don't want. They think less. See, my own family thinks less of me because my brother's a part of the program. He wanted to be like, I remember him being in plays, and he was in those TV shows that the district makes about DARE and the dangers of doing drugs and drinking too much and having underage sex, and he was totally a part of the program. But so he lived the way of the ego, and I lived the way of the spirit, because I said I'd take care of mom, and he's like, fuck you, fuck mom, because that's what the devil would have you do. And so he he went to and he's a paid actor, like, but he had too much self-centered fear. I was on stage doing plays. I love that. I like to act, pretend like I was other people, right? But some people do it, they get carried away with that role. Like, they forget who they are because they're playing a role, and that's so fucking fake to me. That's weird. Like, they never come back from the role. And he was postured. He was conditioned. Like, he got, I'm like, all the markers. He got in trouble when he was younger. His record got expunged. He had a private conversation with the judge behind closed doors without my mother's being there, and he was under 18. He grew up to be, he went to be a teacher. That was too weird for him. 10-year-olds talking about having sex. Couldn't handle that. That was weird. So he went back to law school, became a JAG. Like, he's done all that. He's been in the Army Reserves. He was at Watts when all that shit happened, back with Rodney King. And that black man got beat on TV. In case people don't know, that guy was still a thing. And then, so that planted the seeds, for rap music and all that stuff. And now dude makes, $240,000 a year to lock people in cages because of a program, when he's probably a bigger monster than most of the people that are locked in those cages. So that I'm adamantly against any system, because they start out good. None of them end up good, as we can see. None of it ends up good. So we're getting the karmic retribution, and I think, like, Turtle Island is rebirthing. Like, that's what I see. Like, things are happening. Like, good riddance to the fucking government. It could close. People that get their direct deposit, that need their direct deposit, you're always going to be taken care of. You don't got to worry about it. Keep being a good person. Good things are going to happen for you. My direct deposit landed today. I got direct deposit just because because I did 6 years and broke my body, and they tried to break my spirit, but I couldn't. I just think every American deserves that. Every beginning of the month, that security that they can pay their bills, or that security that they, or if they want to piss away all their money like the government does, piss away all of our money every day, they have that free will too. Like, give the opportunity. Everybody deserves the same opportunity, and that's not going to happen unless we get, like, universal income. Because look out there, dude. Where I live, dude, there's plenty of families. They don't have one autistic kid. They have 2, maybe 3 autistic kids. Yo, see how the meek is gonna inherit the earth? People don't see the meek, the people that are like, ooh, boo, that scares me. Who's gonna be there to drop the bombs when everybody's afraid of the boom diddy booms? What's gonna happen there? This old they're mad because their machismo is dying. That's all the government, like, they know that the gig is up. Nobody took any of that fucking pony show bullshit that the DUI hire did. Like, nobody takes that seriously. They used to pull people out of their work center. Like, we have jobs to do. We have fucking deadlines and shit. And they would take people out of their work center to have them go stand by the flight line at Offutt Air Force Base. And they'd pull us out there 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning just to stand by the flight line so a general could fly off. Maybe he'd look out the window and he'd see 20 people waving, "Bye, General!" So that's 20 people out there for 2 hours. That's 400 hours of manpower. That's 400 hours of work that doesn't get done in 2 hours by 20 people because they like to blow smoke up each other's assholes. Figuratively and literally. And then they call it military intelligence. See, I was looking it up this morning, like, how many generals are in the military? Like, how many military members are there? Because I know they've been trying to get people to retain their military status since the 2000s, and they can't. And when I was in the military, they put me on the weight management program because I was female and muscle weighs more than fat. So I had to work harder to make my body in a right shape, even though like I was a terrible runner. I have bad ankles. I have bad feet. Too much Pisces. So my mile, like 13 and a half, mile and a half run, I'm not a runner. But my sit-ups and my push-ups, I did 60 sit-ups in a minute recorded once. That's like 42 or 48 was my max push-ups in a minute. I got a bad lower back too, so I did the best I could, and it was still better than most. And when a bunch of fat dudes are telling me I need to go work out, I busted my ass for 8 months to get completely off that program. And I'm like, no, you guys aren't going to put me back on it again. You're not even going to look at me. No, that's just they pick people out and then they make it hard. And then the ones that, like, it'll really matter, like, you'll get to pass. You know, I just wanted to get my college. I didn't want to get kicked out. I almost got kicked out for a DUI, and then they almost kicked me out for that. And I'm like, you guys can keep trying to kick me out. I'm going to do whatever I can to stay in. Because I need a college education, get a good job, because I got a mom to take care of. It's because this life isn't just about me traveling around seeing the world like all these dads and fathers did. Having all the, riding camels while your freaking, kids, your family is at home, worried, sick that daddy's okay. Daddy's fine. Daddy's having a good time. Daddy's playing. Daddy's drinking too much and mommy's not hounding daddy. Let's just hope daddy don't cheat on mommy, because that happens a lot when overseas. That's why freaking military jags are over there. It's not for, like, it's for freaking people doing shit, playing stupid games and win stupid prizes. And that scumbag, dude, I would love to meet that fucking scumbag, that DUI hire. I would love to meet that guy in real life. I would fucking make him reevaluate every life choice he's ever made. Just by telling him the actual account of my life, because frat bitch boys like that, because that's what my brother is. He's just like that. Like, you don't know what it's like to fucking scoop out shit water in your shower and do it over and over and over. Because if you don't, the shit water is going to come out into your bedroom. Like, people don't know how to have, like, you don't know what it's like to freaking not ever trust people because so many people have fucked you over so much that it's just not even worth the disappointment of getting fucked over again to have personal relationships. And to how to learn how to have boundaries. Learning boundaries was hard for me because I'm one of those baby rapes. I'm one of those people who got raped when they were a baby. I know nobody wants to hear about us. It makes them feel so bad that we fucking exist. But some of us grow up and we don't go off and have a bunch of fucking kids or get married a bunch of times or fucking, do a bunch of drugs. We go the spirit way, not the ego way. We don't do a bunch of fucking porn and all this shit. We just realize that there's evil motherfuckers in this world, and you can't put yourselves in bad situations to make yourself prey to their predatory behavior. And my hip pops, and I'm 51, and I'm probably not going to live a nice long old age, because people that have lived through hell like I have, we don't get happy endings. Because our endings aren't even for us. Because our lives are cut so short that we don't even see the impact that we make on other people. And they call it trauma bond. Dude, people that freaking have never seen anything horrific, like the people have never disassociated, people that have never been held down against their will, people have never been hurt at the hands of somebody that they love. That is like the most painful thing, that like someone that you care so much about wants to hurt you. And that's what this world is elevating to, being all based on fear, because people are scared mostly because of money. That's why I'm just like, give everybody money. Give them all money. And then see what they're going to do with their character. Because we know what the fucking politicians, how little character they have. How they sell their soul for the production of Corp USA. This country sold out a long time ago. Like, some days I gotta pretend like I'm like, I get why so many veterans kill themselves. I get it. Like, this is what you fucking wasted your time for. This stupid pony show. The fucking, all of it is a joke. Biff, he's a joke. The DUI they're all jokes. Nobody can take I love seeing these guys get fucking booed. Boo them all. Stop going to sporting events. Stop going to churches. All that money. Stop participating in the government. As long as everybody gets direct deposit, we'll be okay to take care of ourselves. $2,000 every month. And then anything beyond that, you're on your own. But nobody should have to pay to go to college. Nobody should have to pay to be healthy on planet Earth. Nobody should have to pay to go to the doctor. Nobody should have to wait a year to see heart doctors, stuff like that. But see, they're not even producing human beings that are intelligent enough to retain the information that it takes. So holistic doctors, they're coming back, because like that's what my method is. Our whole strategy in life is, if you stay healthy enough and you don't need the doctors, you're better off. I don't take any pills. Mom don't take any pills. If I need to take any pills to rely on life, then I don't need to live. Then I should have taken better care of myself. I'm always asking Mom, you feeling good? You feeling good? You happy? You need to go to the doctor? You want to go to the doctor? No. And there's been times that she's like, you need to take me to the doctor. So she is her own person. And I'm not going to decide what's best for her. I will just always give her options. But I'm not her boss. I'm not the boss of her. I'm not here to control anyone. I'm here to show people the ramifications and the consequences of what happens when we don't control ourselves. I was totally a part of the program. Look, I look like a little boy right there, right? Don't I? That's me and the little Mickey Mouse. That's my brother. I thought we were twins for a while. I was a lot smaller. Then later I found out that they put weird shit into me when I was pregnant with mom. So I'm probably one of those people who was supposed to be born a little boy, but they fixed that. Because when there's people that want to control things, because I mean that's how they break people's spirits, by like giving them two souls or thinking they got two bodies and one mind. But we're just all energy, is all. My whole life I have more masculine energy than female energy, and it's gotten me in trouble. It's helped sometimes, but I learned about it. And I mean, this is like back then when I was this little. Yeah, I wanted to be a little boy because I didn't want to have to stop playing and ride my bike to have to go in and pee, because little girls don't pee in the woods, but now they do. So it's okay. I'm like, yeah, you do. Yeah, they do. They pee in the woods because I'm gonna, because I don't want to go in the house. But yeah, but they hijack the mentality of a child, and then they keep people in the mindset of being 5 and they're 15. And they start telling them like surgeries and shit like that are a good idea. I got a TikTok that's going, I don't know what viral is. So I don't know what like is considered viral, because it's subjective to me. But there's one of my TikToks that is like, it's getting up there. And it's to that Teenage Dirtbag song. I did that. I don't really do trends. So where are we at now? Ma, you waking up? Well, I'll be done with my talk, and then I'll get up and then get something to eat, okay? I'm at 14K with this guy. That was me at prom in 1992. And I wrote on it, I've been teaching authenticity my entire life. No surgery required. Prom 1992, Aheoka. So, you know, people could be who they are without surgery. I'm convinced of that. I always believe that. And I was even a proponent of it before, too. I almost got top surgery, but I got braces instead. And I never even wanted to be a dude. That was never, like, I mean, except for that little time I was a kid, but, like, it's like, my thinking is, they always end up with broken parts and disappointed women. So why would I want to be one of those? So, anyway, they're getting it, you know. More and more people are going to start watching my talks, because I've been talking about how Hollywood and DC are an extension of each other, and branch off that is religion and sports. Yeah. If you can get people to pay for your extravagant life, you win. And I don't need to do that. That's why people don't like me, because my bills are paid. I don't need to get onto TikTok or YouTube and be like, I gotta pay rent. You know, when people help you pay rent, and then you use that money to go buy pizza. Like, I can't help people that do stupid shit like that. But I love helping people on the internet. I do, because then maybe I'll see them one day in real life. You know, and maybe, like, they'll see how random acts of kindness did them good, and they'll want to pay that forward. It's the ones that pay it forward that I'm trying to reach out with, not the resource hogs that just want all this shit for themselves, because in their mind it builds security. And how I built it security is just learning how to do all the shit that regular people pay other people to do. Except for plumbing. I am not a plumber. So the world is changing. People are figuring it out. So, yeah, do your fucking play shit. Like, New Mexico is so full. They will use grant money and all this shit, not for the homeless, but for, like, movie studios. And it's just like, that's why you're the last state, because all you fucking people put your money into playing, and when something big hits, and, I mean, Riadoso is getting a bunch of flooding and stuff. People died down there. I mean, how much more loss of life has to happen before people are like, oh God, we need to just make places for people to be safe, like home base, like when we played cartoon tag and shit like that, back when kids played outside when I was a kid. You got to have a home base safe. Yeah, you go out in the world, travel, don't go around, but everybody deserves a place to call home. And people that have just always been afforded these luxuries because your parents gave you a roof over your head. I had to fucking pay rent when I was 15 because mom wanted to teach me life lessons. And it wasn't even part of the rent. It was $250 for this one bedroom shack we lived in, right? And I was still trying to have enough money to buy myself some school clothes so I didn't look fucking poor, cause we were poor. So you guys, and then so you got like my niece. I got a step niece. She's 17 years old, and that girl probably at 17 has more money in the bank than I do because they never have to pay for anything themselves because mommy and dad take care of everything and they never had to work hard themselves. So what I'm saying is that since so many people have so much for doing absolutely fucking nothing tangible, I just believe that every living being on this fucking planet deserves to have some $2,000 a month. That's all. That's it. For doing nothing. Just for living. Just for breathing. Just for shitting. Just for stinking. Just for being a nasty, foul, dirty human being. And anybody that thinks that there's any group that doesn't deserve that, regardless of what and who they are, there's no good orderly direction in that. That's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day.